So welcome everybody to I Could Do It, but Should I Do It? I'm Sharon Bachman from Inova Health System in Northern Virginia, and my delightful co-moderator, Dr. John Page from LSU in New Orleans. And let me just take a minute while I show our disclosures here. Maybe. Oh boy, more clickers. There we go. To welcome you. I realize that we stand between you and the main event and cocktails this evening, but hopefully it's going to be an engaging afternoon session. So I just want to thank our program chairs for giving us the time for this session, and I just wanted to explain a little bit about how it came to be. So I was having an encounter with a patient, and let's just say that I was very, very tempted to use a handsome devil of a new technology to do this case. And it was looking really attractive, like a new supercar, and or a nice piece of Tillman Island cake, which is fun to make. And then I took this case to our pre-op conference, and the righteous angel came on my shoulder and said, yeah, maybe you should rethink your plan on this patient. Maybe that's not the right thing to do. And perhaps the economical and environmentally friendly Prius is actually the right thing to do, and I should eat my vegetables. So there are a lot of times where, as educators, we talk about the challenges educating our residents or our fellows. And we all agree that it's not the technical part of education that can be hard. It's the judgment part of education that can be hard, right? Teaching people good judgment. And sometimes that still extends to ourselves. We saw some really good cases, some disaster cases earlier, right? Judgment is something I think we all still work on throughout our career. And so in this session, the goal is to take some cases that are really, ambiguous in terms of judgment. It could go either way. You could get seduced by the handsome devil, or you could go that righteous, I know this is the right thing to do path. So we selected these ambiguous 5 cases, and we invited 10 of our esteemed colleagues to debate these cases for us. You could do it. You could drive off in the supercar, or should you maybe take the Prius instead? So they will each, John and I are gonna alternate presenting cases to you, and then everyone will get a chance to vote on what you would do. Which decision will you take? Which path? For those of you who haven't updated the app, if you take a second to update it, the polling question link will come up. It just needs to update. So you should be able to link to the poll through the app for this session, but do update quickly so that you get that access. So we're gonna make you all vote before. We're going to have our presenters go head to head and use all of their skill and wiles and guile and maybe some data to try to sway you to their side of the argument. And then after they present, we'll vote one more time and see which way the audience goes. So you can see here we've got a wide variety of cases. We have a hernia case, an upper esophageal, colorectal, bariatric, and emergency general surgery options. I am going to invite our first group of presenters to get ready, and let's talk about what the case is. So John took these beautiful pictures of Mardi Gras, which hopefully you'll enjoy here in the break between each of our cases. So, should I perform an umbilical hernia repair for a symptomatic patient who's morbidly obese? So this is a 48-year-old female, and she doesn't work in the United States. She's a government employee who is stationed outside of the country, and she is in a location that has poor infrastructure for their health care. So she's back in the United States for a extended period of time to have surgery for an orthopedic reason. And due to this pain in her knee, she's been literally pulling herself up a staircase when she goes up and down at her house. And she thinks that straining led to pain and bulging at her umbilicus. While she was abroad, she had an ultrasound done of this area, and it was done in the foreign language, but she was told that it showed a 2.7 centimeter defect at her umbilicus and that there was a 6 centimeter sac which contained bowel. When you talk to her in the office today, she says that she has some pain that's achy with heavy lifting, but it resolves pretty quickly. And if she has a large meal, she can have some pain that resolves after an hour or two. Now, with this knee pain, her activity level has decreased significantly, and she was already somewhat obese, but she's had an extra 100-pound weight gain due to her decreased mobility, and that was over the past 4 years. So she's home for the knee surgery. She comes to your office, and she says, I'm here for a while, and then I'm getting deployed out again, and I would like to have this hernia fixed while I'm having my knee done. She has some relatively mild comorbidities, some hypertension, arthritis, and GERD. She's had an open hysterectomy and prior knee surgery in the past. And her BMI is 58. On exam, she's tender at the umbilicus, and it's hard to feel the defect due to her body habitus. So you get a CT scan. And it shows a pretty small fat-containing defect. She's got a 1.2 by 2 centimeter hernia defect with fat, and at least when she's supine, there's no bowel in there, and there's no evidence of obstruction. And here's her sagittal views. So it's a little hard to see, but this is a fairly extensive amount of fat that's herniated through into the defect. All right, let's bring up our poll. You could use your robotic technology and use that to help make a laparoscopic repair easier for this patient. Or you could tell her you're not going to do surgery. You're going to ask her to do risk modification. To debate this question, we have Dr. Eva Dierenberg from Franciscus Hospital in the Netherlands and Dr. J.B. Bittner from St. Francis Hospital in the University of Connecticut and Hartford. And each of them will have 6 minutes to try to convince you that theirs is the right path.